Hey folks, this is Kalani. With the Shadowlands expansion being so close, I keep getting asked the same question over and over again. Which classes look good? What is the best class in Shadowlands right now? And while that's an incredibly loaded question, we've done our best to try and answer it. So here's what we think. The top 3 classes going into Shadowlands and the class that we think beats all others. Before we jump in, be sure to pop by our live stream sometime over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday at 12 PM PST, and we have some more of those beta keys to give away. So if you're still itching to get a sneak peek of the beta and how Shadowlands plays, swing by and say hi. We always love chatting with you wonderful folks too, so I hope to see you soon. Let's start with number 3 and work our way up to the very best class. In third place, I would put the Paladins. With the Paladin, you're always going to have a lot of choice because they're one of the only classes in the game with access to all 3 roles. You can tank with Protection, you can DPS with Retribution, or you can heal with Holy. That alone is always going to be very valuable. You can swap things around without having to play or level a different character. So if you're someone who loves to dip their toes into every pool, Paladin will already be a great choice. On top of that, Paladins are shaping up to be a lot of fun in every role, and they're also going to be very good at what they do. Prop Paladins are still by far my favourite tank. You get to throw your shield, Captain America style, at anything and everything that's trying to kill you. If that doesn't sell you on Prop Paladin, I don't know what will, but you get to throw down large areas of personal holy ground to protect yourself. You can slam your shield into every enemy in front of you. AoE damage is going to be key in this expansion, let me tell you, and if you get lucky with some resets, you can throw your shield again and again and again, which is probably the most fun thing any tank can do. They also have great self-healing to take care of themselves, and they're currently one of the highest DPS tanks in the expansion. They can kind of do it all right now, so if you love to tank and you want to deal some crazy damage, and you want to be able to stand on your own without having to rely on your healer too much, Prop Paladin is waiting for you. Retribution hasn't changed too much. It's kind of the old reliable of the class right now. You have a big two-handed weapon, you have the light at your back, and you're going to trample over anything that gets in your way. The rotation is fluid and smooth. You build holy power with some abilities and spend it on big hits with others. You have a good balance of cooldowns, procs, single target and AoE damage, and Hammer of Wrath is returning so you have an execute baseline. The only thing they're lacking is a little bit of mobility. And then Holy Paladins should remain a popular pick, even if their beloved Glimmer of Light won't be quite as powerful. Holy Paladins bring awesome single target heals, they have great cooldowns to help out your group, and Paladin in general brings so many support abilities to the table. You have blessings of sacrifice, freedom and protection, they can bubble to avoid mechanics or save themselves, or as a returning baseline so there's some extra support you can provide. If you ever wanted to actually play a support in WoW, I think Paladin would be the closest thing, so that'll probably be the best pick for you. But as it stands, all 3 specs of this class are going to do well, and it's just a very well-rounded class in general. Moving on, and in second place on this list, I would have to put the Priests. Priests are going to be in a great spot going into the Shadowlands expansion for a few reasons. The main contributing factor here is the Shadow rework. Not only did the changes put Shadow in a really good place when it comes to potential damage and overall throughput, but in this current state they're going to be so much easier to balance. No more feast or famine with Shadow Priests. Hopefully no more nerfs after nerfs after nerfs with every raid tier as we get more stats. Shadow Priest should be much more reliable overall, which is incredibly important because it's the only DPS spec you have as a priest. The changes also make Shadow incredibly fun to play, and if you love spammy visuals, look no further. You can summon a horde of ghosts to slowly float towards your enemies and decimate everything in your path. It's quite satisfying to watch all of those ghosties do their thing. Shadow Priest will also have more options than ever before. So many talents have been reworked, there's new passives to increase multi-target potential and give you some procs to work around. A Void Form can be played as a standard damage increase cooldown, it can be played as a race against the clock, or as a huge DPS increase that will kill you if you don't kill your target quickly enough. You have more and better AoE options, better burst options, and the spec is just more well-rounded in general. With all of these changes in place, Shadow Priest is looking to be both fun and powerful, so what's not to like? Priests are going to be even better if you love to heal. It's the only class in the game with two different healing specs and healing styles. On one side you have Holy. Great throughput, strong single target and strong AoE heals. You have an answer for most situations, and you have some of the strongest raid cooldowns in the game with Holy Word Salvation and Divine Hymn. If you love to just pump out a lot of heals, Holy won't do you wrong. It's also one of the easiest healers to get into, which makes it a great choice for beginners. If you want a class that gives you the option to heal, but you haven't really healed too much before, Holy Priest is a brilliant spec to ease you into healing. On the almost complete opposite side of this, you have Discipline. Disc Priests are notoriously powerful, but it comes with an interesting caveat. Disc Priest is probably the hardest healer to play well, so you have two ends of the spectrum. Holy Priest is easy to get into and can do very well for itself, but if you ever wanted a challenge, you have Disc. Much harder to play, but if you can pull it off, you will see amazing results. Disc is shaping up to be one of the best healing specs in the game once again, so you really can't go wrong with Priest right now. Playing a Priest is going to give you a lot of options. All three specs play very differently, so you have a lot to play around with and to learn. Shadow promises to be an incredible spec to kick off the start of a new expansion, and they're going to excel in multi-target and AoE fights, and should still put up a good fight on single target as well. Holy Priests will bring the raw healing you need in any raid encounter to ensure your group stays alive, and if you really want to push the boundaries, Disc Priest offers a unique playstyle with incredible potential. Because of these reasons, Priest will definitely be one of the classes I level in this expansion. And then our top spot, the best class in Shadowlands, it has to go to the Warlocks. I don't know if I can remember a time where Warlocks were actually bad. They've always been good or great, and I don't see that changing going into the next expansion. You're a pure DPS, which means you have three ways to fill your role. All three specs play significantly differently. Destro focuses on upfront burst damage, Affliction is all about the damage over time effects, and then you can summon an army of demons to do your bidding as Demonology. No matter what happens, one of these specs will either be on top or pretty close, dominating, and I mean dominating. It's going to be a spec to watch for sure. Amazing in raids, amazing in Mythic Plus, and when have you ever seen a Warlock back down from a fight in PvP? It's gonna be great. And hey, if Affliction isn't your thing, if you don't like damage over time, Destruction is looking to be a fantastic alternative in every situation as well, and then Demonology could be a force to be reckoned with if the damage gets upped just a little bit. If you're looking for a solid ranged DPS with a lot of variety between specs, you really cannot go wrong with Warlocks. You also provide a good amount of utility for any group, including a battle res, health stones for all, demonic gateways can be very useful indeed, and you can set up the good old summon stone to get your group together faster. That last one can sometimes get you into a raid all by itself, totally worth it. Warlocks also happen to have an excellent set of tools to look after themselves. They're one of the most durable casters thanks to strong defensive abilities and great self-sustain. So while all the other fragile DPS are dropping like flies around you, you can power through, siphoning the life from anything you can reach. They also have surprisingly good mobility thanks to Demonic Gateway and your Demonic Circle spell becoming baseline again. And if that isn't quite enough, bribe a healer to keep you alive through Burning Rush and you can speed your way to victory. Warlocks won't just be great in group content like raids and dungeons though. Thanks to your trusty pets, they also excel at solo content. Whether you're trying to level up through the new expansion zones, clear your map of world quests at max level, take on that pesky rare spawn all by yourself, hopping back to old world content for transmog and mounts, you should not have a problem whatsoever, as long as you keep your Voidwalker or Felguard by your side. They're going to take care of the tanking, you just need to take care of the DPS. Typically I wouldn't give the best class spot to a pure DPS. I love the ability to swap roles and I think that's always incredibly valuable, but Shadowlands has changed the game in that regard. With it being so easy to pick up a new alt and get caught up to speed in no time, even going so far as to more or less skip the leveling process, you can start working on endgame systems and goals on an alt at level 50. That's going to be pretty huge. So because alts are so readily available to play, I'm more than happy to recommend a pure DPS class going into this expansion. Warlocks just do everything so well, and it's actually the class that I've decided to main this time around. It feels great knowing you can change the flow or course of an encounter with your varied toolkit, you bring some great additions to any group you join, and you're probably going to blast the DPS meters as well. What more could you ask for in a class? And there we have it, the best classes and class in Shadowlands so far in my opinion, and why. Would you agree with us based on what you know or what you've played in the beta? Are there any other classes that you think deserve to be on this list, and why? What are your reasonings? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. If you want a chance at some of those beta keys, or you just want to pop by and say hi, you can find us over at twitch.tv/KalaniTV. We stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday and Saturday at 12 PM PST, and watching the stream and coming to say hi is one of the best ways you can support the channel right now, and if you ever wanted to be included in the long list of names at the end of every video, a subscription on Twitch is the easiest way to make that happen. You get a free sub to any Twitch channel if you have Amazon Prime too, so be sure to take advantage of that. A big thank you to everyone who has subscribed on Twitch already and to our supporters over on Patreon. You can see their names floating by on screen. If you want to join these lovely guys and gals, well, now you know how. Remember to leave a like just below the video before you leave, and if you want to see more, make sure to subscribe. But apart from that, thanks for watching folks, good luck and have fun, and as always I will see you next time.